So having learned the concept of while loop and having executed a few programs explaining the concept of while loop, now we will move on to the next concept, that is do while loops. Now do while loop, same in the theoretical portion I have already explained in my other video, and now I will explain the portions with a few programs. Now when we have studied that do while and while loop are somewhat same, but the difference is where one is an entry control loop, that is do while, and another is an exit control loop, that is while. Now in entry control, one is an entry control loop, that is our while, and another is an exit control, that is do while. Now in entry control, what happens? If your while condition is not true, it won't enter into this. It won't enter into the statement block of while loop even once. Suppose here I have taken 6, okay, and in the condition I have given this. So what will happen? See, it cannot ask me anything. Why is that it is not asking me anything? Because since I have initialized I to be 6 and my condition 6 is lesser than equal to 5 is false, it is not entering into the while loop, and directly outside the while loop, whichever statement is first, it is executing that. So since in the initialization section large had this value, it is printing this value only. See? So it is an entry control loop. That is, entry through this loop is controlled by the condition. But do while is what? Do while is an exit control loop. That means if you need to run your loop at least once, at least before checking the condition even, then we use the do while loop. माने condition बिना check किए ही एक बार वो run कराएगा ही कराएगा. This is the concept of do while loop. Okay. Now, suppose the same program, that write a program to calculate the sum of first n numbers. Okay. Okay, let us remove these things. Okay, so the sum of first n numbers means, suppose I am telling 10, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus like this till 10. If I am telling 15, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus like this till 15. So this is the concept of first n numbers. Now my number should always start from 1, right? So my numbers should always start from 1. So I have a concept that once at least I need to run, because you can give the summation of the at least the first 2 numbers. The summation of first number is not the summation, right? एक ही number का क्या sum निकलोगे? At least 2 number चाहिए ना sum निकालने को. So at least you can give the summation of the first 2 numbers. So for any of the cases, the 1 should always run, right? So what I will do is, suppose from the user, I am taking that there is a printf statement that enter the value of n. Okay, the maximum, the numbers till how much you want, and there will be a scanf statement which will take this n, right? Fine. So since I have taken n, I need to declare n also. Fine. So I have taken the n. Fine. Now I will do the summation, that is sum equal to sum plus I, and I plus plus. This concept I will do and do while how much? While your I is lesser than equal to n, till this condition, right? So first time I will initialize I to be 1. So whatever the value of n is given from 1 to that n, okay? If n is given 3, for 1 plus 2 plus 3. If n is given 5, so 1 plus 2 plus 5. So like this will be executed, right? And after everything is done, I will just print the value, the summation. So the sum of the numbers is this, and sum I will initialize it to be 0. Fine. Now what will happen? After this statement, your I will have the value 1. So enter the value. Suppose I want to find the sum of the first 5 numbers. So in your n, your value has 5. Do what? Do, after this do statement is executed, the cursor will automatically enter into the loop because there is no condition here. After this statement, it will enter into the do while loop automatically without checking any condition. So for the first instance, see, there is no condition to be checked. So they are doing sum is equal to the old sum, that is you started with 0 plus your I, and your first I is 1, right? Here sum is 0 and here 1. So sum equal to 0 plus 1, that is 1. Now I plus plus. Now I becomes 1 plus 1, that is 2. Fine. Here is your, here the condition will check. Is your 2 less than equal to 5? Yes. If it is true, then again do this thing. So you check for the first time when I was 1, your no condition was checked. And from the next time when I becomes 2, incremented value of I from 1 to 2, from there the condition is being checked. So again it will enter into the do while loop. Sum equal to the old sum plus the new I, that is sum is equal to 3, and I plus plus, that is I3, and again check 3 is less than equal to 5. Yes. If it is true, sum is equal to old sum plus the new I, that is 3. That is, this will become 6. Increment I, that is 4. Is 4 less than equal to 5? Yes. If it is true, sum is equal to sum plus the new I, that is 10. I is incremented to 5. Is 5 less than equal to 5? Yes. If it is true, sum is equal to the old sum plus the new I, that is 15. I will become 6. Then is 6 less than equal to 5? No. Once the condition is false, the cursor will come out of the do while loop and it will just automatically go to execute the very next statement that is below the do while loop, outside the do while loop. And in the sum variable, my summation is automatically updated. I just need to print my sum variable and see I have printed that. So just let me execute it. See, the summation of first 10 numbers is 55. We all know that, right? So this is the way how the same concept can be run by do while and while loop. It depends on what is the execution flow of execution of your program. If your program does not require the condition to be checked for the first time and it requires the condition to be checked from the second time onwards, you use a do while loop. But this is the way of writing the do while loop. Do this whatever in the statement block, after that the while condition and semicolon. Okay, so this is one example of do while loop. Okay, suppose write a program to display the square and the cube of first in natural numbers. Okay, so I will just enter the numbers and it will show me what is the square of that particular number, what is the cube of that particular number. Okay, So printf and scanf, these two statements are okay because I need to give a limit of n, right? And I have initialized to 1, that is also okay. And my do while loop till run from I is less than equal to n, this is also okay. But inside I need to do a thing. I need to print the square, I need to print the cube. So what I can do is I can take two variables. One variable will hold the value of I into I, that is square, and one variable will hold the value of I into I, that is cube. And I can use a printf statement where I can say the square of the square of number that is, I want to say that the square of the number which is in I is percentage d, that is x, and the cube is percentage d, that is y. See, fine, fine. And this thing will go on till your I is less than d, right? So I do not need this statement. Fine. So I do not need this variable also now. Two variables are okay. And I need another two variables, x and y. Okay. Yeah, I, x and y. So let me execute it. It is wanting me that up to 5. Okay. One mistake maybe I have done in the while loop. Just let me check. Your I is initialized to 1. Then I am entering the number n, and my while loop is still I less than n, which is okay. And I am printing that, okay, I have done one mistake, that is I have not incremented the counter. पहले तो आई 1 के लिए रन करेगा, फिर 2 के लिए, फिर 3 के लिए ना, मेरे को इंक्रीमेंट करना है काउंटर. दैट मिस्टेक आई डिड. See, the square of number 1 is 1 and cube is 1. The square of number 2, the square of number 2 is 4 and cube is 8. The square of number 3 is 9 and the cube is 7. है ना? मतलब ये सब मेरा आई है. देखो, I1 के लिए, I2 के लिए, I3 के लिए, I4 के लिए, I5 के लिए, जो मेरा स्क्वायर्स का वैल्यू है और जो मेरा क्यूब्स का वैल्यू है ना. एंड ये तब तक चला जब तक I 5 तक था. I जब भी मेरा 6 हो जाएगा तो हम मेरा लूप खत्म हो जाएगा, लूप से बाहर आएगा. यही रन अगर हम 10 नेचुरल नंबर्स के लिए करते हैं, देखो, दिस इज द थिंग, है ना. So this is also another way how can we do that. I did what? I just made the square of the number saved in a variable. I printed it. I made the cube of my number one by one, saved it in a variable, printed it, and after that I incremented. So how this flow is done? Suppose my n was 5. Fine, it entered here. When it was entering here, your I is initially set to 1. Right here I have set to 1. So now what is the value of my x? The value of my x is 1 into 1, that is 1. And what is the value of my y? The value of my y is 1 into 1 into 1, that is 1. I will just print what? I will print the square of the number I. This I will match this percentage d. This x will match this percentage d. This y will match this percentage d. That means for every variable or every format specifier you give, there needs to be a variable for that. Or for every variable you give, there needs to be a matching format specified dot dot. If not, it will cause an error. Okay. And it is printing. The printing of the num 1 is 1, 1. Then I plus plus. So from here, your I from 1 becomes 2. So now your I is 2. Here it will check the condition. Is 2 less than equal to 5? Yes. If it is true, again enter. Enter in the X, 2 into 2, 4. In Y, 2 into 2 into 2, 8. And I will print square of my num I. Now your I is 2. Square of your num 2 is 4 and 8. Now I plus plus, that is 3. It will check. 3 is less than equal to 5? Yes. If it is true, here 3 into 3, that is 9. And here 3 into 3 into 3, that is 27. It will do. Square of the num I means 3. So square of num 3 is 9 and cube is 27. Now is it incremented? 4. Again it will check. Is 4 lesser than equal to 5? Yes. If it is true, 4 into 4 into 4 into 4, 4 into 4, that is 16. And 4 into 4 into 4, that is 64. Square of the num, that is I. So I is 4. Square of num 4 is 16 and cube is 64. I becomes 5. Is 5 lesser than equal to 5? Yes. If it is true, 5 into 5, that is 25. And 5 into 5 into 5, that is 125. Square of the num 5 is 25 and cube is 125. I is incremented 6. 6 is lesser than equal to 5. False. Once the condition is false, it come out of the while loop. And which statement is just below the while loop? The statement get ch. So it will execute the statement get ch. And in the meantime, all my values have been printed. Fine. So this is another example of the using the do while loop, where एंट्री में ही ये सेम कॉन्सेप्ट हम वाइल लूप यूज करके भी कर सकते हैं, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट डू वाइल लूप यूज करके भी कर सकते हैं. द कॉन्सेप्ट इज जहां पे हमको शुरुआत से ही कंडीशन चेक करना है हम वाइल लगा देते हैं, और जहां पे हमको शुरुआत का एक बार चेकिंग नहीं करने से भी होगा पर सेकेंड टाइम से चेक होना ही चाहिए, वहां पे हम डू वाइल लगा देंगे. बस यही है, कॉन्सेप्ट सेम है ना. So a lot of other programs are there in the net, you may find it, but if you have understood this concept of executing the do while loop, I hope other programs you will be able to do on your own. Okay, thanks for watching.